Hey everybody, sorry my hair looks crazy. I think it just dried funny. I've just been working a lot and I had my first double shift like 2 weeks ago, I think. And it sucked. But I made it through and I've had many double shifts come after that, which all of them were just terrible just because it sucks working that long. Especially when you're on your feet. Like if I was working 12 hours in a chair, maybe that'd be fine, but it's not the case with working in a restaurant, especially busing, because it just sucks. And like at the end of the day, your back hurts and your feet hurt and like everything hurts. And then all for what, right? Like a waiter could be like, you clean my tables a lot, but I'm just gonna give you $2. And then you kind of just did all that work for nothing. So that sucks. And then it also sucks that I could be there for like the whole day and like a waiter can come in at like 12 and leave at like 3 and they made like $200 and I made 20. So yeah, I think it kind of just sucks all around. And you know, like I really want to quit just because like it sucks working so much, because it's basically like a full-time job for me now. And I know I'm like complaining about having a job, which is not good. Well, that also sucks too, because I should be happy that I have a job, and I am, and I'm making money from it, but I feel like I could be doing more, like busing and food running, which I did a lot of yesterday. Or definitely not like what I'm great at. I think if I could just become a waiter, then that would be awesome. But of course, for some reason, it just takes forever to become a waiter. I don't know why, but it does. And I know they want you to have like experience and stuff, but I've been working there almost 3 months now, and I feel like I have a good idea of how the restaurant works and how like the restaurant industry works. So I don't know, I was kind of thinking if I did leave, maybe I could go somewhere else, be a waiter there, and get waiting or serving experience, and then come back and say, I got experience, can you hire me again, please? And that would be faster and easier than waiting and slowly making your way up the ladder to be a freaking server, right? Like I feel like they just train you and then like that's your experience, and then for the most part you get experience by doing the job, because it's not like a job you need a degree for. It's not a job you like have to have experience for. Like anyone could do it, they just have to learn how to do it at the job, and then kind of while they're working there they can learn more. But for some reason, for me, the restaurant I work at is, I guess they do stuff slowly. Speaking of slowly, yesterday morning I was busing and doing some food running, and I had to roll a bunch of silverware all at once. And I was trying to do all those things at once, and everyone, like the waiters, they'd get mad at me and they'd be like, I really need help cleaning my tables, or clean this table for me, or blah blah blah. And then the host would come over and say, I need a bunch of silverware, I only have a few left. And I'm like, okay. And then since I'm a busser, since I'm like non-essential, I guess, I have to go do that. But if the restaurant's busy, they need clean tables, they also need someone to run the food, and they also need a bunch of silverware. So I'm doing 3 jobs at once, and I'm doing none of them well. And then I get paid terribly, and then all the servers will resent that I'm not working because they see me rolling silverware. They're like, why isn't he cleaning my tables? But then the host comes by and I'm cleaning a table and she says, I need silverware. And then she gets mad at me that I'm not making silverware. And then the waiters get mad at me that I'm not cleaning their tables. And they have to clean them themselves, God forbid. And it's a lot all at once. And then I got to have a break finally. And then I did food running, which it's kind of funny because the guy who's normally the food runner, he's really good at it. And I think he's been there almost 3 years or something. And apparently he's trained a bunch of food runners before. And I don't know, I was like, like when I started busing, I was kind of like, this is so stressful, I'm never gonna make it. But once I got used to it, I'm okay now. And then once I started food running, I was like, this is so stressful, I'm never gonna make it. I should just keep on busing. And honestly, food running is easier, but I guess busing is more comfortable just because I'm used to it. And it's easy mentally, I guess, but physically it's just exhausting. Not exhausting, but it's tiring. And then you don't get paid that much either, because for some reason, like, the servers there, they don't tip well anymore. And the guy that was teaching me how to food run, he was saying back in 2016, I'd get like $60 in tips or something. And I'm like, whoa. I was like, what happened? He's like, well, there's no good tippers left. And I was like, it just kind of sucks that the tipping is left up to the servers, and they could be like, their job, like I could do their job for them or better than them, like they're not essential, and I can just keep all the tips. But like bussers and food runners only make so much an hour, and that's barely anything. And of course the waiters, they don't really get anything by the hour just because their paychecks are pretty much all taken up by taxes. So that's, the tips are how they make their living. But it just sucks because it's like it's not so much that I don't look forward to going to work, it's that I'm dreading going to work. Or not dreading, but like I just don't want to go because I know it's not really worth it. Sorry for the whole depressing thing. Not depressing, just like complaining, I guess. Also, when I came down into the basement to film this, it's about like 1 a.m. now. I was coming down the stairs and there's just this cricket, probably like that big, at the bottom of the stairs, just like looking up at the stairs. And I come down, I'm on like the second to last step, and I'm like, we both kind of just like stared at each other. And then I got to the last step, and then it just jumped, and I ran all the way to the room where I filmed. So yeah, that was my brush with death. I really wish I could make the videos more entertaining, and it just kind of annoys me that I know I could be more entertaining, I could be funnier, but for some reason, like when I'm on camera, it just doesn't come to me, because I talk to myself all the time and I make myself laugh all the time. So maybe either I'm really funny and camera shy, or I just crack myself up and no one else. It's probably the latter, but who knows? Maybe something will come of this. I hope it does anyways, because I know that busing and food running, they both suck. Food running sucks a bit less just because I get to be there. I don't have to be there as long, but I get tipped less than a busser would. And it seems like people there like me, so that's good. But I really just want to be a waiter, just to see, can I do it? I think I could, now that I know how the restaurant works. And I have a friend who works there, and she did like 5 months of doing takeout orders. And I think she said she would bus. She'd pick up busing shifts as well, just to make more money. And after like 5 months of that, she became a server. And then she's been a server ever since. Now she's been like, I think she said 10 months she's been there. So good for her. I guess I'm just nervous. I should stop touching it. I guess I'm just nervous because I keep touching it. I'm just nervous because even like busing made me really nervous, and then food running, when I started doing that, which was just yesterday, well, I didn't start it. I guess I got training yesterday, and just the way the food runner made me feel, I was like so nervous. I was like, I can't do this. I'm quitting. I'm never coming back. I can't do it. But when I'm like with a manager and they're like, this one's the blue cheese and bacon burger, and this one is the California tavern cut pizza, and this one's the ahi salad. And then they're like, this goes to table 603. And I'm like, okay. And then I take it to the table. But with him, and like I've known him for most of the time I've worked there, just because sometimes he busses as well. And like we talk sometimes, but it's just kind of the way he made me feel like it was such high pressure. I guess the way he made me feel was just stressed. In one word, he made me feel stressed. But I don't want to complain about work for the entire video, so I'm going to tell you about a movie that me and my friends and I made over the past 2 summers. Usually they just take one summer, we film them, we edit them, and we upload them. And I I would usually do the captions on YouTube, and those are always fun. So the first one we did was in, wow, after freshman year of high school, so that's 2012 already. Wow. Or no, was it sophomore? Give me a second. I feel like it had to be junior year. Okay, it was either sophomore or junior year, so that's like 2013 or 14. Or maybe 15. But I don't know. So, the first one, really simple, no script, because for some reason that was too much work. It's really awful, but it was so much fun to make. And it's probably like 6 or 7 minutes. And like huge parts of the story were missing. And I had this whole like ambitious storyline where I was like gonna play a detective and he's gonna solve what's going on. So the whole plot was really dumb. So it's all based on like our teachers in high school. So there's one which was Mrs. Bailey, and she was really orange. She like loved tanning, I guess. And so it starts with her, played by my friend Giorgio, and it starts with him or Mrs. Bailey putting on her tanning lotion and then lying down. And then Mrs. Slucher, played by me, and I come up on the deck and I have a big pillow under my shirt, and I just think the tanning lotion is papaya juice. And so she drinks the whole thing, and then Mrs. Bailey wakes up and she's like, "What are you doing?" And then Slucher books it. And then they come around the side of the house. This was all filmed at Giorgio's house and a nearby park, which I'll get to later. So she comes around the side of the house. She sees Slucher laying down on the grass. And then she's like, "Where is it? Where is it?" So it cuts to them in the hospital, and it's the nurse, played by my friend Jordan, taking Bailey into the room. She's like, "Here's the patient." And then as soon as the nurse leaves, Bailey just like beats up Slucher. And then a police officer, played also by Jordan, comes running in. He yanks us apart. He's like, "What's going on in here?" And Bailey says, "She stole my lotion," or whatever. And then Slucher says, "No, I didn't." And then there's lots of fighting. And then the police officer's like, "I'm gonna go report this. Like, I'm gonna go file a report to the police headquarters," whatever that means. And then in the final cut that we had during this huge scene, which was just all in one take, in which there was 2 costume changes by Jordan. The one that we have in the final cut of the movie is the wrong take, because right in the middle of it, I break character and I'm like, "Oh, I thought the line was like, you're supposed to say this," and then she says something about the lotion, and then I say, "I didn't steal it," and then he says something back. And then that's just in the movie. And then I was like, "Okay, we'll just keep going. We'll finish the scene." Just so we can get like the full scene down. And then they're like, "Okay," and then we go on with the scene. And for some reason, that's the final clip that was decided, even though I think I found the right clip, because it was filmed on my iPad. I didn't have like a stand for my phone, so we just put my iPad up and filmed it like that. Okay, so first Slucher and Bailey are talking, and then Bailey says, "So who stole the lotion?" And then Slucher's like, "I think I know who it is." And then Bailey's like, "Tell me." And Slucher says, "Oh, it was," and then Jordan as the nurse comes in and she goes, it turns out she doesn't have health insurance, and she pulls the plug on Slusher and then she dies. And then Bailey's like, she was just about to tell me. And the nurse literally drags Bailey from the room. And then it cuts to this like news report of me as a news anchor and Jordan and Giorgio as like witnesses. So we had this whole thing where like the real thief runs into this restaurant and then they lock down the restaurant, and then I would play a waiter, I think, that like solves the mystery or whatever, because apparently like the police can't get into the restaurant or something. So I solved the mystery because there's two people, there's twins also going to be played by Jordan, and then that whole thing just got cut. So it's just the reporter interviewing people, and then so it's Jordan, some crazy guy with his favorite stuffed raccoon, and he's wearing him on his head. It's crazy. And then he's like, oh, I have double vision, like the world's going crazy, it's the end of the world. And then he runs off the deck. And then the next person, played by Giorgio, is just some farmer and he's wearing a blanket as a poncho and then a hat, and he's speaking in Spanish. And so the reporter goes, oh, can you tell me about what you saw? And then he starts speaking in Spanish, this whole thing like, I left my farm in Argentina or something. And then he's like, I don't know where I am. Can you help me? And then at the end of that, it cuts to a chase scene through the park, which is nearby Giorgio's house. I said I'd bring that up later. So there's a chase scene on bicycles just through the park. And so Jordan plays the evil twin who stole the lotion, and then they're biking through the park. And so since we were like, oh, we can't swear in the video or in our movie, we'll just have to replace swear words with like some weird words or whatever. And so Jordan is riding the bicycle as like the evil twin. So the evil twin's riding down the path, and he goes like, you'll never catch me, you old fart. And then Bailey comes on riding her bicycle. She's like, come back here, you thieving boob. And then I come out again dressed as our band teacher, Mrs. Siegfried, who we all thought was insane. And she's dressed as like a park ranger, so I guess she's just a park ranger on the weekends or whatever. So I see the raccoon stuffed animal. I'm like, oh, do you need help, little boy? Because I guess she's dumb, so she thinks it's a human child. And then I see the evil twin coming, and then I say, no, I don't say it. Siegfried says, no swimming without a life vest, even though they're not swimming, they're bicycling. And then the evil twin comes down the hill and he says like, get out of the way, stupid. And then Siegfried turns around to watch him go, and she goes, I'll have you arrested for this. And then Bailey comes down the hill too, and then she says, move it or lose it, tree hugger. And then Siegfried gets run over and she dies by bicycle. And then, so there's a fork in the path, and the evil twin goes left, Bailey goes right. And then Bailey comes down the hill, and there's some Hindu monk or whatever meditating on the path, played by Jordan. And he's like, oh, but he's in the middle of the path, and then Bailey comes down, and then the monk says something in some language, and then he gets run over, and then it just ends there. There's no resolution, there's no like, there's nothing. There's no end to the story, it just ends. So that one was especially bad, but it was our first movie. So today, there's a movie in the middle, which I can talk about some other time, just because I see how long this video is and I have to work tomorrow morning, all day. So, gotta love working. Also, I don't get that many breaks off anymore, or not, I don't get that many days off anymore, which is really annoying, because usually I'd get like 2 days off, so I'd have like a weekend, but especially this week I worked 6 out of 7 days, so I had work all day on Sunday, no work on Monday, work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, Friday all day, and today I had off, and then tomorrow I work all day. But luckily they're open for 11 hours, I guess, on Sundays, which it's usually open 12 hours from 11 to 11, and then on Fridays and Saturdays it's open from 11 to 12, so gotta love that. Just gotta love it. You don't gotta love it. I hate it. I bet you hate it too. So yeah, the movie. We just finally finished a movie which was 2 years in the making for some reason. So last summer we filmed most of it. This summer I think there's only a little bit left to film or whatever, but for some reason it just took forever to edit. And Georgia wanted full control of this one because for whatever reason Jordan and I kind of vetoed a lot of his ideas when we were making the other 2 movies. Just because it was like, they were bad ideas. And so he just wanted a whole movie where he could do whatever he wanted. And he did. And Jordan and I are in it, and 2 of our other friends are in it. So that's good. Anyways, it's finally done. Like, they finally sent it to me because Giorgio wanted to direct it and edit it, and then Jordan wanted to do the credits, and I had to do the captions, and I finally finished them today. It took me like 3 days maybe, but probably like altogether is probably 4 hours maybe, just because it was like half an hour of captions to write. But yeah, I had fun, especially there's this one scene, it's Jordan and Giorgio, and Giorgio's speaking Spanish, and Jordan's speaking in this funny voice, and it's like a car chase scene. It's really funny, or I thought it was really funny. But it's finally finished, and I sent it to them, and so now it's finally done. 2 years in the making. I don't know why it took that long, but it did. And I'm happy with how it turned out, even if Giorgio had complete control over it. It turned out really well, Giorgio. I know you're not watching, but it did turn out really well. I guess I'll see you guys later. Hopefully I can have some time off. I think I'll have to ask for like fewer shifts because I'm exhausted and I really want to quit my job. So there. Either way, it's like nice to make money. And jobs aren't so easy to come by. And there's a new ice cream store opening in town, and I really want to work there because I love ice cream. But that's neither here nor there. It's nice to get stuff off my chest, you know? Because when I talk to my parents about this stuff, they're just like, oh, you can't quit because 3 months, which it's been, I believe, tomorrow or the next day very close to 3 months of working there now. So I feel like that's enough to know about how the restaurant industry works, and enough to get me like some sort of position at another restaurant so I can become a waiter. Because I had one of my coworkers, I was driving her home on the 4th of July, and she was telling me the restaurant we work at, she's also a server. And so she was telling me the restaurant we work at is like hoity-toity was the word she used. And if I'd gone anywhere else, I would have found a waiter job. And I'm like, oh, that's annoying. That's really annoying, because that's all I wanted to do, just for the summer, right? Like, I'm not gonna be a full-time waiter. I just wanna do it just for a little while, just so I can see, do I like this or do I not like this? Should I pursue this? Should I say, screw that and go somewhere else? I don't know. I forget what I was saying, but I have to go to bed. This video is now 36 minutes long, but I'll edit it, of course, because no one wants to watch 36 minutes of complaining and me explaining all of our first movie that's like 6 minutes, but it took me like 10 minutes to explain it. Anyways, it was great to talk to you guys. Oh, I was saying it's good to get stuff off my chest. That's right. So I'm complaining to my mom. My dad wasn't there, but my mom like told my dad what I was saying. And right, like, it does suck, because I'm there all day, and someone who's a server can be there 4 hours, can make more than I make in 12 hours. So that's just really terrible. And it's unfair, because, like, honestly, like, what are you waiting for? Why can't I be a waiter? Because I know the table numbers now. I know what a lot of the food looks like. I guess I don't know the menu, but I assume that's like the first main step is learn the menu. And then you probably have like something that you say when you first walk up to someone and be like, hi, my name is William, welcome to blah blah blah. Have you dined with us before? And they say yes or no, and I'm like, either welcome back or welcome. And I just feel like I could be so good at it, but it's just not coming. It just takes forever, and I have other people who are like ahead of me in line to be a waiter, and I'm like, I'm gonna quit before then. Before I even become a waiter or get close to being a waiter, I'm gonna be like, I can't do it anymore, I'm out. But it's nice to talk to the camera, because the camera doesn't talk back to me. The camera doesn't say, well, here are my doubts of your doubts, just like my mom does. So yeah, those are all the doubts that I can remember me saying to my mom. It sucks. I want to quit. And it's unfair that other people make more money than me and they're there for like 4 hours. I think that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. It's now almost 40 minutes long. Love you guys. Good night, or good morning, or whatever part of the day you're at right now. Bye.